Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to your Tuesday night Women with Gobs and the Balls to Use Them. I'm your host, Megan Marie, with Miss Tina Wolf, and we have some special guests for you tonight. Miss Gale, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi there, kiddies. My name is Gale, but my author name is Camille St. Charles, Mississippi, and I do a racy and adventurous and naughty podcast titled Dessert Novella Sweets. I write naughty stories titled after world famous desserts, and then I tell you the stories. So that's just one of the little things that I do. Thanks. I'm so thrilled to be here.
I love it. My name is TwilaBGoode, and I'm a certified sex coach, relationship coach. And so I work with couples and singles on how to have a more healthy relationship and how to have a sensual and spicy sex life. And sometimes that involves a little bit of kink. So I'm right here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And yeah, I'm glad to be here as well. Love talking about sex.
Yes, ma'am. And you are here
Absolutely.
for a night. We have a great one, a great topic. And it is, girl, why are you fucking that dick when your pussy is dry? Why?
Okay.
Man, somebody.
Let me get my light together because I see right now it's going to be heated. Yeah.
But you know, the funniest part of, when I was talking about other people, so, this is, I think so many people get into the mindset of that, as we get older or relationships mature, the fact of the matter is our libido, it dies down, everything, but there's so much more to that. And we don't pay attention to these. These are natural signs our body is giving us. And people, do not feel dumb or stupid, because I was one of those people who never made the connection years ago until tons of marriage problems, everything like that. Had always been a very, sexual person, had no desire, nothing. I couldn't get wet. I went to my doctor, and my doctor was like, Megan, you don't like your husband. And I was like, no, I love my husband. He was like, no, Megan, it's called chemistry. No, he's not producing anything in you. You don't like your husband. And, and I went home and I was really kind of like, no, bull crap. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And of course, years later, I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, you knew exactly what you were talking about. You kind of knew before I did, because I wasn't acknowledging. But how many other women are actually out there and they don't pay attention to we don't pay attention to these signs. And there are far more people around who are doing this, not paying attention. And sadly, a lot of their excuses, I'm married. And no, people, we need to change this mentality. We need to change this. So what are some things that you ladies have on that? That was my lead in.
I would say it's twofold. So a lot of times, as we do get older and we're, becoming more mature, we're going into maybe premenopause, menopause. Yes, our body is definitely changing. And so naturally, for some of us, we start to dry out. We aren't as wet as we once were before. And so the lining of the walls, your vaginal walls start to thin. And so that's where lubrication, definitely comes in handy. I will say that for us as women, it's all about the desire. It's all about pleasure, and sex starts here. So if you've been with a person for 10, 15, 20 plus years, you've changed, he's changed, or she's changed, and the relationship overall has changed. It could be lack of desire. It could be where, physically we're present, mentally we're gone. And so we're not actually, in the moment, which can affect, your vagina to become dry. And so it could be your diet. What foods are you eating? Are you, dehydrated? Are you truly not paying attention to what your body is telling you? A lot of times when I'm working with clients and, I'm telling them, your pussy is going to talk to you. Are you listening to her? She tells you when she's sad, when she's happy, when she's depressed, when she's upset. So it's a lot of these different combination of things that can create for her to be dry. It could even be where, maybe the relationship, there's some underlying issues that haven't been addressed. And we need to have this conversation. Do I still desire my husband, my partner? Do they touch me, in places where I want to be touched now? Are you having a conversation with your partner to express yourself? Um, and so I think all of that plays a big factor in, why she's dry.
Yeah.
Could be that you're bored in a relationship, but then how do you spice it up as well?
Yep.
And Twila's got classes for that, baby.
Yes, I have a lot of classes on libido and just overall how to spice up your sex life. And those classes are for singles and couples as well. I do like for men to come out and participate and learn. And so those are always fun and exciting classes. But really start with the foundation. Let's have a conversation. And I call those sex conversations. How are you talking to your partner to express your needs and wants now? Especially for those couples that have been around or been with each other for so long, or even those empty nesters. The kids are gone and now they feel like they're roommates in the house. What does that new relationship, look like? But menopause, perimenopause, menopause plays a big factor in our libido. So how do I get my libido back again? Is it me going through something? Is it the person that I'm with? Is it my job, that's making me not wanting to have sex? What is it? And so that's
Right.
when you come and talk to me and we have a conversation, figure out what's really going on.
It's a combination for me. I have found that the biggest playground is in the mind. And sometimes if your body is not as willing as your mind is, there's going to be some form of fashion of an impasse. But if you're ready to play and you try your best with all your might to make your partner aware that things have changed. Now they have to be willing to accept the
Right.
responsibility and the acknowledgement that you're not the same person and they're not the same person. And you might have to spice it up and do different things, because for most women, I know for me, sometimes I stay more so in my head than I am present when I'm having a conversation with my husband. I'm like 3 or 4 steps ahead of him. Whatever he's talking about, I've already had the conversation. I'm good. I've got other dragons that I'm slaying in my mind. But then if he says, we don't plan intimacies because this never worked out for us. But if he would say something like blah, 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 I'm like, oh, really? mentally, I've been gone all day. I've been like, oh, I'd love some good sex. Oh my stars. Get your mind right. I'll see you upstairs in like a couple of hours and don't, because when I come in, I'm ready to play. I'm not here for a conversation.
Right.
Right.
Like,
You made a valid point. It has to be, your partner has to be willing to acknowledge and accept the fact that everything is changing. Individually, you're changing. The entire relationship has changed. And so both parties have to, talk about it and acknowledge that, and not just, be like, oh, well, it is what it is. No. That's when, some couples, it becomes, they become stagnant in the relationship. And so you have to acknowledge it. You are absolutely right. You have to articulate what is going on. And so, my motto is, if you can open up your mouth and suck his dick, you should be able to open up your mouth and tell him what is going on. Is that, to me, it's just that, that simple.
But sometimes guys don't want to. Some men, communication is not their strong suit. And some men figure if they bring the dick to the party, that's all they need.
That's enough. Oh my God.
I got the dick. Yep. What we doing? And
you're supposed to be wet. You're not wet yet? Don't you see this?
Don't you? You're gonna let all this go to waste, and your mind is like, dude, you hadn't talked to me all day. You can't
Fact.
more things to be welcoming and accommodating. Now, make no mistake, it can be, but there are steps. There's policies and procedures in order to get from point A to point B. Sometimes we can just walk in the room and just have at it. We don't even have to talk. But then there are
Right.
days, you have to go through the steps and you have to get me out of my mind, and I have to get you off of autopilot thinking that the same old stuff that we did
It's gonna work.
20 years
Yes.
ago, that's
Right.
still going to open the gates. The gates
Right.
don't open like that. It's a different combination, player. Get your mind right. Get
Mhm.
up
Right.
Absolutely.
I
And that's
have. Go ahead.
foreplay comes
there.
into is a big factor,
Yes.
like, it's not like where this car we can just automatically, put the key in the ignition, which would be his dick or whatever, and it just kind of just turns on like that and we're ready to go. Oftentimes we as women, we need to we need warm up. We need
Idle. We need to idle.
touch, right? We need to be touched and kissed and caressed, and that's all intimacy. It could even be where we are talking throughout the day,
Yes.
very sexually, with our texting or whatever that conversation looks like. Now I'm turned on. Now
Yes.
I'm aroused.
Yeah.
So now I am naturally getting lubricated and wet to
Exactly.
see you later on.
Yeah.
So now when I see you later on, I'm dripping wet, and I call them cum tears. So now,
Oh, nice.
yeah, she's crying, but it's a good cry. It's those cum tears. So now I'm ready to see you. It could be if you're in a relationship and maybe it's long distance and you guys don't see each other like that. You're going to be, naturally excited to see, your partner. And so you may automatically be wet like that. But overall, it's conversations, it's foreplay. Foreplay is key, and everybody's foreplay looks
It's
different.
different. Yes.
And it's intimacy. It's just the overall intimacy, being with that person. This, the times that you laugh together. It could be holding hands. It could be the two of you complimenting each other. Especially when your partner compliments you, that can turn you on right there. But I think all of, a lot of times this stuff gets lost as the relationship progresses over the years. He doesn't say it, she doesn't say it, and next thing you know, you just
You don't like
roommates. You're roommates.
you're truly roommates, and you don't
Right.
know each other anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah,
I
she's
have
not gonna get wet.
I have where I've had men that I've been very fortunate. I've had very good lovers in my lifetime. Like they pay attention, they focus, and they really pay attention to my body. What I have found is once I got to my latter 40s, I don't know where the shift in the men. I feel like sometimes they're playing I call it beat the dick, and not beat the dick, but let me beat the dick before it go down and turn into, a gummy worm, you know. And it's like because they're racing or whatever it is that's going through their mind, or they're wanting the sex, they're just wanting to just bust that nut real quick. It's like you're forgetting I'm more than just a cum bucket. Like I'm not just your cum bucket. You know what I'm saying? Like you are. And then a lot of the men, and like I said, I found it in my later 40s. I'm 51 now, so I'm still baby in 51, and in the 50s. But what I have also found is some of the men that have been sexually active for a long time, and they were also fortunate enough to have many lovers, and they've been able to satisfy all those women. They feel like whatever it is that they've been doing there is going to work, also work for me.
Yeah.
Now, in the beginning, like Miss Twyla said, there's all this excitement and all that. So I'm probably going to pop, even if you just touch my elbow. I'm probably going to pop.
Wind blows.
Right.
Wind blows.
Yeah. But
Right.
once we take time to get to know each other, I'm definitely going to let you know where my hot spots are. But then you also can't always use my hot spot like a button either. I have a lot of men that their go-to is let me eat this pussy. And it's very exciting for them to say that to a woman, because most women have that response.
Right.
And, you know, they're V-shaped legs up. They ready. Like you ain't got to touch none of this. You ain't got to kiss me. You ain't got to do nothing. Just, you know, eat that pussy out. Yes. But for me, because of previous experiences I had, I do like it. But there's something else that I like more. Like if I had my choice between getting my pussy ate and getting this other thing done, I want this other thing done. Like getting my pussy ate is not, it's the, I feel like because they know they are so good at eating pussy and they're so good, the women respond to them because maybe they don't get their pussy ate a lot, or maybe they thoroughly enjoy it. They want to, you know, eat my pussy 20, 30, 45 minutes. And I'm like, hey, like there's the rest of my body is up here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just give me the dick at this point. You know what I mean? So the orgasm is not as enjoyable to me. It's like, and then we'll have a conversation and I'll be like, this is my hot spot. This is what I want to be paid attention to. Okay,
Mhm.
cool. About 2 minutes of that, and then let's eat this pussy for 30 more minutes. And I'm like, and then I've even had men to tell me, well, why don't you tell me? I'm like, I have told you. You know, you're either too busy trying to hurry up and put your dick in me, or you just want to hurry up and have me to come eat my pussy. And then when I don't come because you're eating my pussy, then you get mad. Like, then you're asking me why your pussy dry. It
Because you haven't turned me on.
Yes.
you haven't. I'm
Right.
telling you what does it, and you're not listening. So now what happens, and this is part of the dry pussy syndrome for me. The next time I get ready to have sex with you, it's like Gale said and Twyla said, it's already in my mind. This shit gonna be terrible because he ain't even gonna do what I told him to do. He gonna go straight for the yep, there you go, straight for the pussy. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You
And I
know,
think, you know, it's it's a lot of a combination of what you said there. It could be the
just let
fact
me
that,
know we got 4 more minutes with
okay,
Miss Twyla. You got 4 more minutes
okay.
and it'll be that time. Go
So
ahead.
I'll just kind of put everything that you said, and it's a combination of things and that can create for a woman to create have vaginal dryness in that particular situation. One, if a guy is just that's his go-to, is just going down there eating you out of house and home down south. Okay, that may be his go-to because maybe he's lacking in other areas. Maybe his stamina isn't where it used to be. Maybe he has some form of ED. Maybe he feels insecure about the size of his penis. So he's going to, please you how he best knows, which is the tongue. That may be his go-to thing. Two, it could be where also the factor is everybody's playbook isn't the same. So the playbook he's been using on everybody else, that's not my playbook. That's not your playbook. That's not the next woman's playbook. Some men, not all, but some men don't take the time to get to truly know what we enjoy, what their partner enjoys. But it goes two ways. Are we telling them what we like and how we like it? Are we showing them? Are they receiving the message? Are they letting the ego get in the way and be like, oh, well, I know what she likes because every other woman I've been with hasn't complained and they seem to like it. No, dude, hold up, time out. What we're not going to do is keep playing the same record over and over again, and you aren't listening to my needs. And
Yes.
oftentimes we will check out because we aren't being heard. At the same time, how are we telling them? And when are we telling them, and are we truly showing them, what we like? So it's a lot of different factors in there. But, if the guy isn't listening to you, if he's using the same old playbook over and over again, mentally, we are going to check out. If their go-to is just, going down there, eating you out, every woman, that doesn't do it for every woman. I could do without that personally. Like, some of us, it's hit or miss. Like, yeah, I've had it before and it's been really good. but I'll tell you what I like. Okay. And that's not my number one. Like, I like to please orally my dude. That turns me on. So I'd be hurt if he told me he ain't like that. I'd be so upset, you know.
Dare
But yeah,
you.
like, I like pleasing my man orally. That's just my jam. That's my thing. But once again, it goes back to talking to your partner. And something else too, when you've been together for a while, and as we do get older and you want to try new things, you want to try those together. Do your research, educate yourself, learn what it is that you may want to try, and why are you wanting to try? Is it because you think it's trendy and it's some type of fad? Did you watch 50 Shades of Grey? Now you want to be tied up getting spanked somewhere? Why do you want to do it? But yeah, all of this can play a big factor into why we aren't wed anymore. Our sex isn't like it's going to be when we were in our 20s. It's going to take us longer to get there, because we want more from that person.
Right.
We want the intimacy, we want the connection, we want the touch, we want the compliments. We want to be taken out. Even if you've been married, all those years, we still want to go out on dates. But, you just can't come in the house. I think you can smack me on my ass and that's going to be enough. And I'm going to be ready to. Right.
That's the magic
It don't work like that no more. Because I'm going to tell you like this. If I was to do that to you, is your dick going to get hard just like that?
Facts.
I'd want to know. It may not.
I think we should start a trend on that. We should start a video trend and be like, slap your man's ass, see if his dick gets hard. Let's see how that works.
Like,
It'll be
yeah.
a movement across the U.S.
I just need a man, and I can slap random strangers.
I wouldn't go that far.
No.
Oh, okay, my bad. Well, Miss Twyla, we're so glad that you came and joined us.
Nice to meet you.
All of your time. We definitely want to have you back for sure for more of these topics. So thank you so much for creating that space and coming in. You want to leave your website information, how people can contact you if they want to get something before you go?
Yes, this was fun. I loved it. Let me know when, so I can make sure that I'm prepared better. But
no, you was very prepared. You did great.
Let me know. You can find me on all social media at TwilaB.Goode, preferably Instagram. I take that back. You can find me on Instagram at TwilaB as in boy.Goode. And then my website is TwilaBGoode.com. If you're interested and are needing of a relationship coach, please contact me. Or if you are wanting to have some, learn sex a little bit better and have sex classes with me, it is very professional. Let me put that disclaimer out there. We are closed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You learn with me and you go elsewhere and actually execute. Okay. We're not executing together. But yes, the classes are held in downtown Dallas, and then the coaching sessions are held virtually. Yep.
Thank you for
joining again, Twyla.
Nice to meet you.
You're welcome, ladies. Nice to meet you as well. You guys have a great night. Tina, I'll talk to you later.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Bye.
That was great. Yeah.
It was great. But
I love her. I need a dick riding contest because these knees don't do it. I mean, not contest. My bad. I need her dick riding class because these knees,
they don't do it.
She got a technique.
She's got a technique. I saw a stool, something that you sit over your partner.
Oh, it's got the little trampoline thing.
Yeah, and it's got the little hole in it where you can position, and you'll have something to sit on and to hold on to help you with your momentum and lifting up back and forth. Yeah. And I was like, oh, all right.
But see, but I think that's the problem. And I think that's what we kind of like hit on. But, it is, you got to be in tune with yourself.
Yeah.
That's kind of the biggest thing is we're all concentrating on our partners, but, it gets to the point where, what about you? Sex is supposed to be pleasurable. It's supposed to be fun.
It's supposed to be an exchange of energy. It's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be. It is not just because you're having kids,
Yeah.
primal mates. Like sex is a natural part of who we are.
Yes.
So why are we depriving ourselves of simple pleasure that is free?
Because it's been offered up in the shame arena for so long that, the way that they can control you is tell you that you exhibit different normal tendencies, and your mind works differently. And then they try to position it so they shame you in the religious arena. Then in the sexual arena, you become more so withdrawn because you're like, well, listen, I might want something totally different than what you're willing to give, but I will put my desires on hold, because we as women sometimes will put the things that we like on the back burner and deal with the guy because his gratification is immediate.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Some guys can learn how to control their release of their body, so therefore pleasure can be achieved by both individuals instead of, I don't want to say sloppy seconds, but you know what I mean. Know what I mean? Like
waiting for the re-up.
Yeah, you're like, wait a minute. And then if you've missed that window of opportunity, it's gone.
Yeah.
And now, I'm not saying it won't come back later that night, but sometimes in that opening or in that time frame that you all are together, there's a finite, because your body, you're already primed, you're humming, your body's like, oh yeah, I'm all, you don't even have to do that much, but I need you to get there. But if you don't even put forth the effort and you don't even get there, you'd be like, most women be like, fuck it. I'm sorry. That's okay. Forget it. Just gone. Put it in and leave it alone. Don't even worry about it. Because it happens. It happens so often that we all are concerned about the guy.
Yeah. I can say that I did that, after that period of learning about the dryness and stuff like that, I really started thinking, but in the religious aspect, Catholic, you don't get divorced, everything like that. You're supposed to deal it out. But it got to the same thing. I had no sexual desire or anything. So I would just lay there and just like, because that's what you're supposed to do to keep your man, blah, blah, blah. You're supposed to, the marriage rights, you're not getting a divorce, blah, blah, blah. Until finally it was like, what about me? 4 years of depriving myself from any sexual type of desire or intimacy or anything because I'm married to a man I can't stand. So I'm supposed to be miserable, not happy. I'm not supposed to. Fuck that. I want me some damn sex.
Right. Yes. Bad. Bad.
But women, and
I call that the color purple, where she was like, I let Mr. get on top of me and do his business. Like when I'm talking to my friends, I'm like, girl, that was color purple. They're like, oh no.
But how many people do that?
Sometimes that's what it's like. And then it's like after that, I try to have the conversation, and because the egos are so fragile,
it's a delicate walk. It's a delicate.
It's like, I'm not saying that you can't satisfy me, but what I'm saying, you have the ability to do so. But this is what I desire for satisfaction to be achieved. You know what I'm saying? The type of satisfaction you're looking for, like I'm gonna pound that pussy. Like, okay, sometimes I do want you to pound it, but sometimes I want you to slow wind it. I want you to stir it like coffee. Like, I want you to kind of mix it up. Like, I don't want you to just, I don't want you to just jump on me and just, I'm gonna pound this pussy and you making me scream and holler, but you're making me scream and holler not because it feels good, but I'm like, no, stop, because my shit's dry and you about to rip my fucking pussy lining out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're in I went through that in my 20s where guys are like, they want, I call it jackrabbit. They just, and you're going, wait. Because first of all, you haven't even done anything to my vagina to make it relax. Right.
Right.
And my ex-husband number 4 is what I call him. Ex-husband number 4, I've had a lot of lovers. He said that, and he was rather large. So he was like, I noticed with you, once you relax and you orgasm, it's like you got more pussy back there. And then you relax more. I'm like, he got more pussy. He used to call it the catcher's mitt. You know what I'm saying? Because you go from, you can barely get the head in to damn, now you got the whole baseball bat. Like you catching what I'm throwing. That's the catcher's mitt. He said, but I know when the catcher's mitt is not open, that means I know there are things I need to do to get that result. Because I've got it all in there before. Why am I not getting in there now? That means I'm not doing something, right? Mm-hmm. Or that means we need to talk because there's something going on with you emotionally. And once he said, that's something else that he noticed. If there's something going on with me emotionally, even if I want to have sex, and I guess I'm just that person that where my lovers notice that if it's something wrong with me, and I'm like, no, I want to fuck, and they're like, you're trying to use me like medicine. I'm like, yeah, but they're like, no, I'm not gonna fix it. Like, you need to know. Let's talk. And I'm like, I don't want to talk. And at work, what happened? And then once I get all that shit out, you know what I'm saying? Once I get all that shit out, then they're like, okay. And then we have this wonderful, moment. So yeah, helping to relax. So I can get the catcher's mitt, you gotta listen to me. Or listen to my body. If you don't want to listen to my mouth, listen to my body. And some of the greatest lovers I ever had, and some of them was one night stands too. They pay attention to my body. Fact. I had this guy, I was in a bar one time and he was blocking the doorway to the pool room. And I was like, excuse me, because he was tall. And he turned around like this and he was like, and I said, excuse me. I guess I must have looked like a little chihuahua to him. So he just picked me up, grabbed me, and started kissing me, tongue kissing me, and then put me back down and said, now you can go through. And I was like,
you just made my pussy wet.
Yeah.
And then Usher, because back then the song was still kind of new, Make Love in This Club. Usher came on, Make Love in the Club came on, and he grabbed me, took me on the floor, and was grinding and winding on me and gripping on me. And there I was like, so we going home? I don't even know your name, but we going home? Like,
because he made the pussy wet.
He made the pussy wet.
He, the intention of it, because that's one thing guys don't realize. It's like, we don't want the planning. Like, I mean, they think women want to plan sex. What girl really seriously is like, okay, well, Tuesday night, we're going to at 8 p.m. 30, we're that's not sex, people. That's a schedule. That's a chore. And sadly, that is what happened for a lot of people. We want that intimacy. We want that spark. We want that seduction. You come home, kiss us on our neck or something like that, get it going, pull down our panties and fuck us at the counter. I mean, that's hot. What you
like Gale said,
too.
Tell me that you gonna fuck, like Gale said, oh, we fucking later tonight?
Shit.
Yeah. You ain't got to get no time. The fact that you said tonight, I already know it's going down.
Yeah.
You tell him to go up there. I see you there.
Yeah. You sometimes I used to say in my bad old days, I used to tell the young guys, you need to jerk it off first before you get with me, because the excitement is going to be, the chemistry is just going to be so intense. I don't want that boom and then you're done. So you need to get that out the chamber. clean the chamber first. Then
Yes.
when it's time for us, oh, it's game on. It's time for us.
Mhm.
But if
Yes.
by chance the men don't have sometimes, especially Black men, they don't like hearing inadequacies. They don't like,
Right.
I don't think any man likes
Good.
to hear that, honey.
they don't like bringing it
Suggestions.
to the
They
forefront.
men don't want to hear suggestions. They take
No.
it personal.
Cause for me personally, I want you to slow dance my pussy all over the room. Slow
Yeah.
dance.
Yes.
Slow dance that bitch.
Yes.
But if you choose not to, you have to deal with the repercussions. And
Yeah.
it might not be as welcoming and as accommodating. You might not be able to go through do the tours like you used to, like the levels, like Tina was like, the catcher's mitt. I like that.
Yeah.
You might not be able to go visit the catcher's mitt because you hadn't done the steps to where she is. You know where she is, you know what you need to do in order to get there, but you don't want to. Okay, well, you just get dry pee. You get dry pussy. But if you put forth
Yes.
the steps and you hit all of the marks, she'll be there waiting on you. Oh, she'll meet you at the door in a lingerie, in a negligee, like, and drinking a bourbon, like, here.
Yeah. Yeah. People don't realize this. So I forget, it was like probably 2 months ago or something. I read a report. It was out of John Hopkins, that women over 40, now it wasn't really a classification or something. It was just kind of over 40 men and women who think about sex more. It was women with 30 times a day, men 19. And it doesn't take much. Like, I'll tell you, like, one of the hottest text messages I have ever gotten and stuff, it was, I'm going to work tonight with the smell of your pussy on my beard.
I mean, I used to tell
I'm
guys, you
done.
just gonna leave
Do you
like
not
that? You
think-
don't want to wipe it off or nothing? They be like,
You not think
like,
I got
oh
that?
my God.
I got that while I was at work. So I'm now at work and I'm like, ooh, it's a little slip and sliding.
Exactly.
A little slip and slide.
Yeah.
I'm now thinking about that all day till I get back to home and I'm okay. What's up?
Yeah.
Let's get it on.
What we doing? How much time we got? Well, the kids, blah blah. Let's go take care of this right now, and we'll finish the rest later on. But let's work out those unresolved issues real quick right now. Because it's doable, but you have to be you have to be able to handle some form of fashion of. It's not criticism; it's just guidance. But if you cannot handle that,
Mhm.
and
I
you
think
think that
is-
the dick is the only thing that makes decisions in the room, it's the dick. Your whatever you decide is irrelevant. Long as the dick has made the decision, you're like, whatever, man.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well,
I can
what
completely-
do we to wrap this up, ladies? What
Yes,
are the nuggets that you have? Let's start with our guest, Miss Gale. What nugget do you have for the people on
Hold on.
dry pussy?
My phone decide it wants to ring now.
Ah,
It's just been sitting there. Nothing. Nuggets of information. Timing. Sometimes those impromptu moments are beautiful, but you've got to know your partner. You've got to know what it is you're bringing to the table pertaining to sex and what we're doing. You might want a nice, slow kissing, love making, fondling, all the other stuff. You might not get that. You might get a lick on your clit, maybe, or if by chance you put it in, you tell them ahead of time, like, listen, Saturday night, I want to be rode hard and put up wet. I need you to do that.
Yeah.
Can you do that for me? Now you've got the whole week to work out any unresolved issues, whatever is going on with you. But when it's showtime, I'm telling you what I want.
Yep.
I need you to honor my wishes and fulfill them and slow dance me. Because if you knock on the right door, you never know what is available, what's accessible to you. But you've got to put forth the effort. You just can't walk in the door with your dick in your hand and that's it. That's it. And grunting like a caveman. Ugh. Like, what?
That didn't turn you on? That didn't go.
It doesn't turn me on at all. It drives me out of my mind.
Let me
Like angry drive me out of my mind, not in the arousal department. It's like them's fighting words.
Well, my nugget is listen, Linda. That's my whole nugget right there.
What did you say?
Megan, what's your? I said, listen, Linda. That's the whole nugget right there. That's it. Just listen. That's it. That's my whole nugget. Like, Megan, what's your nugget?
My nugget from, kind of Tina and I came up with this subject last week. I talked to a lot of people about it, our conversation here. Part of being an adult, a mature, emotional, regulated adult, is being able to communicate your needs, wants, and desires. And if you can't do that, you're lacking in the mental or the emotional arena. And it's really that simple. And I think we need to start really educating ourselves more, and the sexual education of, this is normal. These conversations, I think, need to be had more of in a public, because there are so many people, exactly as what Gale said, the shame and the embarrassment, that so many people don't feel safe. And so what better to watch 3-4 beautiful girls talking about sex and ways to improve your sex life.
Yeah. Because I have no shame to offer you pertaining to the sexual arena. If sex embarrasses or shames you, that's your problem. Has nothing to do with me.
All right. I got a lot of horror stories, and I don't even got no damn shame onto it. I know what sex should be.
Some horror stories, and a lot of mine are color purple horror stories.
Another mystery encounter.
I said I'm not doing color purple no more.
No.
Megan, make sure that you my little face just keeps disappearing over here. Megan, why don't you round us out? And next week we'll be here, same bat time, same bat channel. So what do you have for us, Megan?
Oh, I have no idea for a subject for next week. But, it's gonna be good. And I say we stay on the sex topic line. And people, we say it every week. Our views are going up, so that means you guys are liking it. You're liking the conversation on it. But when it comes to the sex, we have no shame about talking about anything. And as you can see, if we have networks of people who we can get other people to come in and open up and talk about these things. So if you don't feel comfortable going to talk to about it, or to your girlfriends or anything like that, we're here. Reach out to us. Everything is confidential. We're not going to share your information or share, oh my God, Miss Gale sent me this message, blah, blah. We ain't, we ain't going to call you out on it, because we want to open it. This is how we better humanity. This is how we open up, and we just create the dialogue. And I'm so thankful that I get to be a part of it, and with these beautiful women.
We're exchanging ideas, and that exchanging of ideas is like paramount, because how am I expected to have a conversation with you if you won't even listen to me? How can your mate or your companion or your significant other tell you something that's concerning them if you are in the mindset that you're not really interested at all? It's all about what you want.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to put on that. You're going to have to calm whatever spirit that's entertaining you down. And I need to make sure that I'm pleasuring my significant other in the way that she desires to be pleasured. Not
and speaking of
only about me.
I was gonna say, speaking of pleasuring others, please share your information of how they can get your book. I know you just recently dropped another book that you were selling, so give them that information, and then Megan's gonna take us out.
You can find out any and everything that you'd like to find out about me from my website. It's www.CamilleSt.CharlesMississippi.com. And from my website, you can go visit my podcast. You can listen to several interviews. You can hear or see me or meet me. I'm available on all social media platforms, all of them. I might not be as active on some as others, but you can find me. Look for Camille St. Charles, Or if you still are struggling, Google me, Camille St. Charles, Mississippi, and anything or everything pops up. I show up after the hurricane on Google. After Hurricane Camille, then I show up 20 different times. So you know you're in the right place. Yeah. So this has been fun, ladies. Thank you so much for including me. I
Yeah,
hadn't
and
had
thank
a
you
nice,
for
good,
showing
juicy
up and
sex
showing
talk in a
out.
while. You know,
Yes.
already lubed.
Megan, take us out. Uh-oh, did she freeze?
Megan,
Uh-oh, she
she's
froze
phasing.
on us.
Okay, there
Uh-oh.
she is.
Oh, there
You were
she goes.
frozen for a minute. You were frozen.
I'm sitting here all moving.
Okay,
Y'all are
Megan.
one frozen. All right. Well, I was just saying, we are Megan and Tina, and we are women with gobs and the balls to use them. See y'all next week.
See you later.
Bye.
Thank you.
Stop recording, Tina.